Hello everyone, welcome to Hey Tech Programming Tutorials for Everyone. This is a better Python tutorial, Python for beginners. In this course, we will talk about an introduction to Python, Anaconda and Python setup, terminal, Python, Jupyter Notebook, and creating our first program. In the next course, we will talk about Python basics, comments and data types, variables, strings, string manipulation, and creating a program. Then we'll talk about user input and conditionals, lists, and loops, such as for loops and while loops. Then we'll talk about functions, creating and calling functions, parameters, return statement, and then we're going to finish it up with a project called creating a shopping cart. Then we'll talk about data collections and files, object-oriented programming, efficiency, complexity, and last but not least, we'll talk about an introduction to data analysis. So, welcome to this tutorial. Whether you're just beginning to learn how to program or have experience in other languages, the lessons taught in this tutorial will help to accelerate your goal. As a Python instructor, I can guarantee you that it's not about where you start, it's about how hard you're willing to work. At the time of recording this course, my daily job is a coding bootcamp instructor where I teach students how to go from zero programming experience to professional developers in just 10 weeks. This course was designed with the intent to bring a bootcamp-based approach to online learning. The course aims to help you learn subjects that are valuable to becoming a professional developer with Python. Each subsequent video will have an overview and a brief description of what we'll cover that week. This week, we'll be covering all the necessary basics to get us jump started. Following the age-old saying, you must learn to walk before you can run, we must understand what our tools are and how to use them before we can begin coding. So to give you a brief overview of what we'll be doing in this video, we're going to talk about understanding why and how this course works. We're going to install Python and Anaconda. We're going to understand how to use these new tools. We're going to understand how to use the terminal, and we'll write our first Python program. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Almost every programmers remember that aha moment when everything clicked for them. For me, that was when I picked up Python. After years of computer science education, one of the best methods I found to learn was by building applications and applying the knowledge you learn. That's why this course will have you coding along rather than learning about the theory behind programming. Python makes it simple to pick up concepts otherwise difficult in other languages. This makes it a great language for breaking into the development industry. So you can follow this course over the course of 10 days. If you'd like to follow the course over this course over the course of 10 days, then you will need to learn all the material in 10 days. Then think of each video as a single day. Granted, you must know that in order to complete this course in 10 days, you will need to dedicate around 8 hours per day, which is a typical day for coding bootcamp students. In bootcamps, like the one I taught, we go over several concepts daily, and each subsequent day, we reiterate the topics learned from previous lessons. This helps to accelerate the process of learning each concept. So what is Python? Python is an interpreted high-level general-purpose programming language. To understand what each of these descriptions mean, let's make a few comparisons. So we have low-level versus high-level. This refers to whether we program using instructions and data objects at the level of the machine or whether we program using more abstract operations that have been provided by the language designer. Low-level programming languages such as C and C++ require you to allocate, manage memory, whereas Python manages the memory for us. So we have general purpose and targeted language. Python is just general purpose language, which means that we use it for different purposes, but targeted languages such as SQL is used to extract uh, information from relational databases, but you can't really use it to build an operating system. However, Python can be used to build an operating system. Interpreted versus compiled refers to whether the sequence of instructions written by the programmer called source code is executed directly by an interpreter, or whether it is first converted by a compiler into a sequence of machine-level primitive operations. Most applications designed with Python are run through the interpreter, so errors are found at runtime. Python also emphasizes code readability and uses whitespace to separate snippets of code. We'll learn more about how whitespaces work in Python, and I just want you to know that Python is a great first language to break into the computer science industry. So why Python? Python is so amazing. I could go on and talk about how amazing Python is forever, but you can do that by just Googling why Python is amazing. However, Python is also an easier language to learn. And notice I said easier because programming is still difficult. This course are the course materials provided for you are applicable to other languages. So Python is one of the most sought after skills in the tech industry today, used by companies such as Google, Facebook, IBM, etc. It's used to build applications like Instagram, Pinterest, Dropbox, and much more. So why learn this book or this course? The main reason why you should start learning this course is because the materials has a proven track record. I have personally used this exact organization approach to help get my students well-paying positions across a variety of industries. One of the next great strengths of this book versus its competitors is how the concepts are taught. So lastly, this course will not only teach you how to program, but how to think like a programmer. Beginning of each week, I will challenge you, and by the end of the lesson, you will be able to understand the approach you need to take. So who is this course for? Now, I'm going to talk about 6 different types of people that are suitable for this course. Do you have experience in other programming language but want to pick up a high-level language? The answer is yes, then this course is for you. Have you never programmed before but are eager to learn? Then this course is for you. Did you take computer science courses previously, but they just couldn't help you learn how to create applications? Then this course is for you. Did you want to make a career change? Then this course is for you. Have you tried to learn languages previously, but couldn't because of the difficulty of the language? Then this course is for you. Have you programmed in Python before, but want to improve your abilities and learn new tools? Then this course is for you. Now, this course is designed for a wide array of learners. No matter what your background is, the real question is on you: how hard you are willing to work. The concepts taught in this course can benefit anyone willing to learn. Even if you've programmed in Python before, this course can still help you become a stronger developer. So, now we're going to talk about what we will learn. We're going to talk about setting up Anaconda 3 in Python. So Anaconda 3 is a cross-platform development environment that allows you, I apologize. Python is a cross-platform development programming language or has cross-platform development options for you, which means that you can use it on most popular operating systems such as Windows, Mac OS, X, and Linux. And if Python is installed on any of these machines, then you can start using them out of the box. So then we're going to talk about what Anaconda is and what Jupyter Notebook is. So let's pause the video and let me show you how to install Anaconda and Python at the same time. Now, in order to download Anaconda, just type in the following URL: anaconda.com/distribution. and then press enter. Then you'll have a menu that looks like this. You have different operating systems. So we're going to get our software set up. Throughout this course, we'll be using a software platform called Anaconda, an integrated development environment IDE called Jupyter Notebook, and the language of Python itself. This course will strictly cover Python 3. However, at times you may see me mention subtle differences between versions 2 and 3. Let's go ahead and download and install these first. Then I'll get into what each of them are. Python runs on all major operating systems, making it a cross-platform language. This means that you can write code on one operating system and work with someone that uses a completely different machine than you. If both machines have Python installed, they should both be able to run the program. Now, installing Anaconda and Python for Windows. Most OS X and Linux operating systems already come with Python installed. However, you still need to download Anaconda. For Windows users, Python usually isn't included, but it gets installed with Anaconda. Use the following steps to install Anaconda properly. So you're going to have to click on download, and then after you click on download, you will be able to download the entire file. I already downloaded the file, so I'm just going to go ahead and pause the video and show you what it looks like. Now that I've downloaded the file, let me show you how to work with it. So you're going to have to press next, then press I agree, then select just me if you just want to install it for your own computer and not other users. And then we're going to press next like that, but since I've already installed it, I'm just going to give it another name, install it somewhere else, like so. Just click here, click next, and then select both of these. Even if this turns red, please select both of these and click install. After you finish installing, you're just gonna have a new window displayed in front of you that will say, that will give you two options. Just untick them and click finish, then cancel. You'll have Python and Anaconda installed regardless of your operating system, regardless of the operating system that you are using. So this is for Python 3.8, and I'm using Python 3.8.8. Now, in order to show you how to work with the terminal, let me pause again and show you how to work with that. Now, on Windows, if you want to open up a terminal, just press the Windows key and then CMD and then press enter. I'm on Windows, so you don't need to worry about any other things. Just as a tip, please remember that Mac OS X has a terminal icon in it, and Linux also has a terminal icon in it. Just click on it and open up, and the terminal will open up for you with Python installed in it. So in order to work with the terminal, we're just going to teach you basic stuff. First thing is changing directories. CD, desktop. Now we are in our desktop. If you want to go back, just press cd ... Then you go back. Often throughout this course, you will need to traverse through several directories to get into a project folder. When you use cd command, you can go as far as forward or backward as you select. You just need to specify the correct path to the folder you wish to go to. Take the following code for instance. cd desktop / desktop, then press enter. What this basically does is it goes into the desktop, goes back, and then goes into the desktop again. Now, if you want to have a better view of the screen, let's fully maximize the screen and increase the font size or increase the zoom and then work with the terminal. Now checking the directory. In order to check the directory, you just need to look to the left of your of where you type your command. So in here you have the C drive, the users, my username, and desktop. This is where I am right now. For Linux, uh, you will be able to see that to the left of your username, who you're logged in as. It'll be the name just to the left of the set mark in Linux as well. So making directories, we just want to create a new directory, and we're going to call it Python Bootcamp. So in order to make a directory, let's type in mkdir, which is short for make directory, and then Python underscore bootcamp, and press enter. Now the directory is created. Now cd into that Python bootcamp, and then create a new file. Now if you want to do that on Mac or Linux, just type in touch example.txt, and this will create a new text file called text. In Windows, you're just going to type in echo less than example.txt. And there you have it, a new text file created for you. Now, if you want to check the version of the Python that you're using, you just type in Python space dash dash version, and then you'll have it. And then you'll have a 3.8.8. If you want to clear the screen in Mac OS X or Linux, then type in clear. If you want to clear the screen in Windows, just type in CLS. Now, if you want to run Python, just go ahead and type Python, then just type in print, and this is a print statement which displays text as you type it in. So you type in hello world, and then you close it up, the quotation marks off. Now notice both of these quotation marks. You can do a single quotation mark or a double quotation mark. Doesn't really matter at this point, but as long as you use the right structure here, you'll get a hello world correctly displayed. So if you press enter, you get hello world. So this is our first line of code. Now here's something that I want you to know. Now we're just, in order to exit out of this, we just type in exit and then type like so, and then we type in Python. If you typed in Python and you had an error that goes like this, so let's just type nonsense. Because I've already installed Python on my computer, it's going to work. But if you don't have Python on your computer, then let's just say nonsense is non-recognized as an internal or external command, operable program, or batch file. So this is not recognized as an internal or external command, operable program, or batch file, which means that Python was not installed properly on your computer. Please go back to the previous lesson that I've just taught and reinstall Anaconda following the step-by-step instructions given. You may need to restart your computer as well. So writing your first line of Python. Now we've already written our first line of Python, which is after you type in Python, you type in print and then hello world, and then that's it. Now let's exit out of this and open up Jupyter Notebook. Now in order to open up Jupyter Notebook in a certain directory, you must be inside that directory and just type in Jupyter Notebook. Now it will open up a new window for you. As you can see, we have a new folder called Python Bootcamp, and it has a file that's called example.txt. Now, in order to create a new Python file, please do the following. Click on New and then Python 3. Then you'll have a newly created file. Now, if you want to change the title, we're just going to say video underscore 01, and then that's it. The video title was changed. Now we have a newly created Python file that we can use as much as we want. So first, we're going to create a Markdown. So in order to create a Markdown, we're just going to say Moataz Hassan, and then click on Markdown, then press Shift and Enter. And there you go. Here's the Markdown. Now, try writing this first. This is Python, and then press Enter, and then print hello buddy, and then press Shift plus Enter. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, if you want to display the number line, then press on the cell, and when it turns blue, just press L. Then you'll have the numbers displayed. So if you want to type in Python, that's line 1, Python 3, that's line 2, Python 4 is coming up very soon, but we don't have to worry about that because it's not up yet. So let's clear this all up and then consider other things. So today we're going to be creating the first program that we need in order to try and see what Python can do. So first we're just going to give it a title. It's just random title. And then we're going to say from random import rand int. Then say from IPython dot display import clear underscore output. Now guest is equal to false, so we set that to false. Number is equal to rand int 0 to 100. Guesses is equal to 0, while not guessed answer is equal to input try to guess a number that I am thinking of. The number that I'm thinking of, okay? And then press enter. And then guesses, we're going to increment guesses by 1. This means guesses is equal to guesses plus 1. And clear output. Now if int answer is equal to number, then print you guessed it correctly. Print it took you guesses dot format guesses. Now break, and then else if int answer is less than number, then print the number is lower than what you have guessed, else if int ans is less than number, then print is more than number, print the number is greater than what you have guessed, and that's it. Just press shift enter and then type in 50 just to see what happens. We got an error. Now, in order to fix this error, let's pause the video first and see. I'll just type in 50, no error. Now, the reason why there was an error is because I typed in 50 dot. So this gave me an error because I gave it a number that cannot be converted. So just type in 50 again and see what's going to happen. The number is greater, so we have to pick 80. The number is lower, so we have to pick 60. The number is greater, 70. Lower, 65. Whoa! Alright, we've guessed it correctly and it finally worked. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Please support my work. Thank you again. Goodbye.